7 managers who were shockingly sacked. Vicente del Bosque. It's pretty tough being Real Madrid manager, and Vicente del Bosque found all about this in 2003. Despite having just won La Liga and capturing a League and European Cup double 2 years earlier, Del Bosque was sacked. It would take Real Madrid 6 years to find a suitable replacement in Jose Mourinho, with the likes of Carlos Queiroz, René Schuster, Jose Camacho and Vanderlei Luxemburgo all flopping at the Bernabeu. Meanwhile, Del Bosque went on to become Spain's greatest ever manager, winning 2 European Championships and a World Cup. David OLeary. While Leeds' financial situation was the main reason from their fall from the top tier of English football, sacking David OLeary certainly didn't help. OLeary was sacked in 2002 after finishing 5th, just 2 years after leading the club to the Champions League semi-finals. 5 years later, and Leeds were in League One after 2 relegations, and they've been outside the top flight ever since 2004. Sam Allardyce. Big Sam has been on the end of some pretty bad sackings. He was relieved of his duties at West Ham at the end of the 2014-2015 season, literally as the full-time whistle blew at St James's Park, and we'll not mention the debacle that was his time in charge of England, but we are going to look at his time at Blackburn. While his approach to football wasn't pretty, it was certainly effective, with Blackburn sitting in 13th place. Despite that, Allardyce was controversially sacked by the Venkies. They would instead appoint Steve Keane and were eventually relegated into the Championship, where they've been battling relegation ever since, and unlike Leeds, don't even look close to bouncing back. Chris Hughton. Seemingly one of the nicest men in football, Chris Hughton didn't deserve what he got at Newcastle. After relegation in 2009, Chris Hughton was tasked with rebuilding a broken squad and getting them back to the Premier League, and it's fair to say he did it with relative ease. Despite an impressive start to life back in the Premier League, including a 5-1 derby victory over Sunderland, Chris Hughton was sacked and then replaced with Alan Pardew. George Burley. Second to Rangers' financial plight, the only thing that was going to stop the Old Firm dominance in the SPL were Hearts in 2005. George Burley's Hearts side were performing well and competing at the top of the division before an untimely fallout with owner Vladimir Romanov. Hearts' dream faded as quickly as it appeared, and they have never looked like competing for the title since. Gary Rowett. It's anyone's guess why Birmingham sacked Gary Rowett earlier this season. The Blues were going well and looking like playoff contenders under Rowett, but he would lose his job following a heavy loss to Newcastle. Rowett was replaced by Chelsea legend Gianfranco Zola, who has Birmingham sliding closer to League One than they do back up to the Premier League. And finally, Claudio Ranieri. One of the saddest sackings in recent memory, it's like when your favourite character died on Game of Thrones. Having achieved the impossible by winning the Premier League with Leicester, the Foxes' dreams start to fall apart, with Leicester unable to recapture their form from last season. With the club finding themselves in a relegation battle, the Thai owners made the decision to sack the man who brought the club their finest ever achievement. As soon as Ranieri left, results picked up for Leicester, and they now seem to be safe in the Premier League and somehow in a Champions League quarter-final. Disgraceful. So those are our 7 managers who were shockingly sacked. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.